Good morning, everyone. My name is Whitney Brewington, and I will be teaching a Vinyasa hip opener class today. So first, get comfortable in seated position. It's up to you whether you want one foot in front of the other, Indian, or if you like to place one over top. But as we're here, and this will be more of a relaxing class with slow movement, but again, Vinyasa and hip opener. So let's begin. First, I would like you to come to your mat, take a moment, and just breathe. You made it. We're here. And as you're here, I just want you to start lengthening your breath. So if that means counting to 3 and releasing for 3. And when you're ready, we'll take a big inhale together. Inhale and releasing, exhale. And as you're here, you might feel some sensations. Maybe you feel the air in the room. Maybe you can hear the diffuser going off and dripping water just so gracefully. Maybe you feel the sensations of your breath. Maybe you even feel some tension in your back from standing or from sitting straight up, right? So once again, let's all take a big inhale in and exhale out. And this time I want you to think of your intention for class today. What did you come here for? Take a moment, think of a word or a few, just to discuss of why you are here. What is your intention today? My intention today is love. And when I say love, I mean love for movement. My body is a little tired, but I know how much I love movement. And so I'm gonna move with grace in each position we go to today. Grace for myself. Okay, so when you're ready, I want you to breathe in your intention and let go of any thought or thing that will take away from this moment. Stay present with me. And when you're ready, start to open your eyes, come back into the room. And we're gonna start with our arms down by our side. I want you to take your right ear over to your right side, stretching it out. And on your next inhale, I want you to come up full circle and exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Trying to keep your shoulders down. Inhale up. Exhale down. When you're ready, I want you to come back to center. And we're gonna move over to our left side, left ear to left shoulder. Hold for a second. And when you're ready, we're gonna inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale up. And taking your time, exhale. You are free to move at your own pace. And when you're ready, I want you to come right back to center. Next, we're gonna take our right arm, stretching it up over to the left side of our head, tilting our head to the right, stretching and elongating that neck. Taking a few deep breaths here. We're not in a rush. And when you're ready, release. Exhale. Inhale, arm comes up overhead, stretching over, leaning that side, stretching it out on that right. Be gentle. And release. So we're gonna do one more neck movement, okay? So we're going to go to our right side again, holding that space. Next, we're gonna go up to the sky, and this one, I just want you to drop your head down, stretching your front. Then we're gonna go over to our left. And while we're here, we're gonna tilt it all the way over. We're gonna come back center, and then we're gonna drop our head down to our chest. When you're ready, you can meet me back at center. So while we are here, we're going to face our mat. I still have one foot in front of the other. We're going to inhale up, arms all the way over our heads. Stretching towards the sky. And then we're gonna exhale, release, twisting for that side body stretch. Making sure our head is facing behind us, looking or gazing at our fingertips. Inhaling up and releasing opposite side. Try to keep your hips and your wings, as I call them, your knees down, pulling them towards the ground. Twisting that side body and looking at those fingertips. Inhaling up. And then we're gonna walk it down. And do a little stretch here. Trying to keep our hips grounded as much as possible. If you feel them raising a little bit, it is okay, it is fine. But continue to keep awareness and pulling them back down. And when you're ready, we're gonna walk it back. We're gonna switch our legs out if you haven't already. Again, inhaling up, stretching that body, exhaling, twisting the body. Again, on your next inhale, arms come up. Exhaling, twisting the body. Inhale, and then once more we're going to walk it down. When you're ready, we're walking it up. Thank you. And so, what I like to do is lift my tailbone up. Legs are going to come out. And we're going to go to our first tabletop. So tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. I like to keep mine tucked for a little bit, just by my posture, and then I'll relax. So while I'm here, I want you to find some awareness in your fingertips, okay? Spread them wide, engaging them into the mat, okay? I'll show a little wrist love, okay? So we're gonna bring our right arm back, swing back just a tad, up, and we're gonna bring it back, okay? Same thing, opposite side, twisting our hand, stretching the wrist just a little bit, twisting it around, and bringing it to the mat. All right, so we're gonna go for cat and cow, okay? So, we're gonna do an inhale, and as we inhale, we're gonna bring our chest up, head like it's being pulled to the sky. And then we're gonna do an exhale, coming into cat. Body comes up to the sky as if someone's literally pulling you up. And we're just gonna keep that in rotation. Inhale. Exhale. Notice, find your comfort. Inhale. Exhale, release. And one more, inhale. Exhale. And now just take a few breaths of going at your own pace, whatever that looks like for you. So when you're ready, I want you to come back center. And like I said, today is more of a hip opener, so we're gonna start with some hip love, warming our hips up, okay? So we're going to first bring our hips forward. And if you have to shift your arms up a little bit, that's fine, but we're gonna go forward, to the right, to the left, to the back, over to your left, and back forward. And what we're doing is just small circles. Start small, and as you gradually go, I want you to pick it up, making it a lot bigger. Now, don't speed up your movement. Just continue to rotate your hips. Exhaling back, inhaling forward. You continually get bigger and bigger. And when you're ready, we're gonna do our first child's pose. Toes come together, feet, knees, the width of the mat, sending our hips back and walking it out. forehead. You can put your hands overlapping each other and having your forehead touch the mat or touch your fingers. If you're like me, be safe, turn your ring around. While you're here, take some good deep breaths. Remember your intention for this practice. And when you're ready, I want you to meet me back at tabletop. And we're gonna do the same thing to the opposite direction. So we're going to bring our hips forward to the left, take it back, and to the right. Again, starting small and working your way. Exhale. If you want to keep your balance a little more, tuck your toes. And make sure you're breathing. Give me a few good big ones. And again, we're gonna bring our knees out width of the mat, or bigger if you need. Sending hips back, toes touching, and down to your next child's pose. Release everything right now into your mat. And on your next inhale, we're gonna come back to tabletop. Curling our toes under. And we're going to send our hips up to the sky, creating our first downward dog. So while you're here, I want you to pedal your feet out. And as you're in your downward dog, we're gonna make sure we are creating that slant with our shoulders, sinking our heels into the mat. If you are not there all the way, that is fine. Continue pedaling it out, stretching it out. I want you to hold for a second. We're going to walk it forward into our first ragdoll. So as we're here, feet are hip width apart, arms are crossed in front of us, crossed, dangling, and just letting our head move as it's pleased, just like a ragdoll hanging off a shoulder or hanging off a cabinet. Continue to sit there for a second, breathing, big inhales. And exhales. As we're here, I want you to find your awareness again. Straighten those legs. Bend just a little bit, and we are going to sweep all the way up Hands overhead, bringing them down to chest. And take a second here. Inhaling, exhaling. Remember to deepen your breath. When your mind starts to wander, it's okay. It's okay. We see the thoughts and we just want them to pass. So take a moment, regroup. Get a good inhale, inhaling your intention right back in. Grace. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Next, I want you to sweep your arms up over your head, mountain pose. And then I want you to sweep them right back down into standing forward fold. Excuse me. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat. As we're here, we're going to walk it back into our first plank, okay? So as you're sitting in your plank, shoulders over wrists, we're going to bend at the elbows. Exhaling, release, inhaling up, releasing our toes to the mat. And we're gonna exhale all the way downward facing dog. Walking the dog again, just walking it out. Feeling the stretch, it gets better and better every time. We're gonna walk it forward, feet behind wrist for our standing fold. Remember lengthening, having your hip bones feel like you're being pulled upwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Sweeping up for mountain pose, one more. And then sweeping right back down, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Walking our feet back into a plank. Okay, we're gonna lower our plank down, exhale, inhaling up. Exhale, downward facing dogs. Again, curling our toes, sending our hips up, pedaling it out, walking it down for our downward facing dog. Again, walking it forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Release, exhale, hands to heart. Again, take a breath here, take a moment. Listen to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, mountain pose. Then we're gonna release into chair pose. So we are gonna send our hips back. All of this is tighten. That's the word I'm looking for. So we're tightening this and we're sending our hips back into chair pose. As we sit here, I want you to inhale, exhale, releasing it down, walking it back, down into our upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Then we're gonna take our right foot up to our hands into our first lunge. Okay, as you're here, we're going into our high lunge, coming up into warrior one. Okay, you wanna make sure your toes are facing forward in the mat and your back toes are kind of a little diagonal. Arms are above your head, hips are forward. Breathing here, taking a moment. If you can go lower, feel that stretch in your hips. Releasing to the ground. Sending that foot back, pedaling out. And we're going to drop one knee to the other, bringing it out. 2 knees, feet come back, hips come back into another child's pose. Now, don't get too comfortable. We're gonna come right back up. Curling our toes under, sending our hips up into downward facing dog. We're going to stretch out our left side this time. Left side comes up in between hands. Shifting our body up for our warrior one. Again, hips are forward, back leg is slightly tilted, giving you that stability, but your weight on that front foot, stretching it out, finding that stretch in your hips. Arms come up. Big inhale, exhale. Arms release back down, bringing it back. We're going into plank, releasing down, inhaling up into upward facing dog, releasing down. Toes curled, bringing it back for our downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward for our standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Release, exhale, down. Inhale all the way up into mountain pose. Sweeping into chair pose. Releasing back down. And we're gonna go right into ragdoll for a second. Again, going side to side, letting your upper half hang. So again, we're coming up for halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, release hands to the ground. Stepping back into that high plank, shoulders over wrist. Bring down, inhale, up, upward facing dog. Exhale. Hips up, downward facing dog. As we're here, we're gonna bring in that right foot in and bring it to our chest. And then we're gonna release it to the sky. Pointing our toes to the sky. Bringing our foot in between our legs into another warrior. So now we're gonna release our warrior to the side for warrior two, creating this 90-ish angle. Bringing it down into bringing it back into another high plank, low push-up, upward facing dog, releasing, downward facing dog. Now we're going to do the same thing with our left foot. We are going to bring it into chest, bring it up to the sky, stretching it out, bringing it up into warrior one, and switching it over to warrior two. And as we go to warrior two, forgive me for not explaining. Now your right foot or your back foot is kind of in line, parallel with the mat. Arms are out. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, release. We're going to travel back down, sending our leg back into a high plank, going into chaturanga. Low plank, inhaling up, exhaling, release. As we come down, bringing our knees back to the mat, hips come back, feet are together into child's pose. So while you're here, I want you to take one more inhale in through your nose, exhale out the mouth. We're going to adjust our arms, tuck our toes, sending our hips back up to a downward dog, pedaling it out. All right. And then we're going to again bring that right foot into chest, up all the way to the sky, bringing it between our toes, between our hands. We're going to come up to our warrior one, sliding into our warrior two, yes. And while we're here, I want you to take an inhale, exhale, release. Bringing that body back, stretching that side body. Coming back center, arms stretched wide. And one more, inhale. Exhale, all the way down. While we're here, we're gonna bring this leg back into our downward dog. Pedaling it out, whatever feels comfortable for you. Bringing that leg in one more time, up to the ceiling, and we're gonna go down to pigeon. So we're gonna bring our leg in front of us as straight as we can. If it's diagonal, that is perfectly fine. We wanna keep our hips as square as possible. And if you have a lot of space right here, we have our blanket. Or if you have a blanket, if you need a block, this will be the time to utilize it as well. But mostly a blanket, because you can still move it around and get to whatever position you like. So as you're resting in this position, I want you to send your breath to whatever is uncomfortable. Okay, right now my hips feel a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to inhale, exhale, breathing into it, okay? Chest is still high. Take a good inhale here. Exhale. And on this next exhale, I want you to come down to the ground. So we're gonna inhale, exhale, releasing. Now it's up to you if you want your arms out, whether you want them over top of each other, resting, head resting on Okay, just try to relax while you're here. Enjoy the stretch. We're gonna take a good 3 deep breaths here. Go at your own pace, and we will re-enter together on the 4th one. So now I want you to come back, bring awareness, bringing yourself back up, moving the blanket over. We're gonna curl our toes up, push it back, push into it, bring that right leg out. Going back to that downward dog, pedaling back and forth. While we're here, we're gonna bring our left leg up into our chest, out into the sky. Bring it up and into our hands. Coming up for that warrior 1. Going into that warrior 2. And while we're here, I want you to come up, stretching that arm all the way to the sky, the back of you, to your crescent. And exhaling, centering. One more time, back. Creating that tightness, that core, tightening it up, bringing it all the way down. Bring your foot back to that downward dog, pedal. Bring that leg in one more time, stretch it to the sky, nice and big. Bring it down for that pigeon on the opposite leg. Again, if you need your blanket, place it behind the hip. We're gonna start upwards, taking some deep breaths. One of my favorite mantras is I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Anytime my mind starts to wander, I just have to remember I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And as you release, I want you to come down. Again, arms can be folded in front, head resting on hands. And just taking that moment to breathe. All right, we're gonna come on out. So while you're here, I want you to send your hips back, bringing that leg in front of you. So we are going to windshield wipe our knees. So we're gonna come down a little bit. Bring your knees in, stretching it out, taking your time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, do whatever feels nice. As you get here, you want to bring your booties to your feet, lay it back. Okay, find your comfort if you need a blanket or anything behind your head. So we are first going to take our knees up to our chest, and we're just gonna give them a nice hug, okay? Give yourself some self-love, some care. Give a good hug. And release. Not all the way. Then we're gonna do it again. Inhale. And release. So while we're here, I want you to slightly move your knees in that small circle. Okay, don't do too much. Just give them a little love, which is also giving your back some love. So whatever way you're going, I want you to stop and reverse it. Again, starting small and working your way bigger. Giving some spinal love. When you're ready, come back center, give yourself another hug. And releasing both feet to the ground. Take a moment and just breathe for a good 2 breaths while you're here. Inhale and exhale. Give me a good one. Inhale. Exhale. So while you're here, I want you to take your right foot first. We're gonna bring it up to our chest, releasing our left foot down to the mat. Keeping awareness in our foot, okay? Keeping awareness in this leg that is laying, but we are pulling that right leg into our chest, getting that deep stretch. If you're here, give your ankles some love. Yeah, ankles need love too. Each way, left and right, go back and forth. Okay. So then we're gonna take our ankle to the sky. And if you need it, you're gonna grab your straps. And we're gonna be very slight with our movement today. So we're gonna bring it up, bring it to our calves. So while we're here, we're gonna bring that leg in. Again, keeping awareness in our left foot. Stretching our top foot, our right foot up, over, and go as far as you can. That feels comfortable and not in pain, okay? Breathing into those sensations, okay? Inhaling and exhaling. Then I want you to release it back down, holding that knee. And then we're gonna bring it over to our side body, bringing our right knee over our body, stretching it out. And we're sending our right arm, that same arm, opposite. So we give it a little twist, okay? Now, you could say that the goal is to keep your shoulders to the mat, keeping your hips squared, shoulders to the mat, okay? Stretching it out. And we're gonna sit here for a few seconds, okay? Remember, if you lose sight of where you are, where your mental starts to pull you in different places, come back center, come back grounding yourself with the simple mantra of I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And on your next inhale, find awareness. And we're gonna inhale, exhale, releasing that knee back center. Bringing that left foot back up. Giving yourself another hug. This time I want you to put your face in your knees. Looking like a little ball. And then we're gonna release that right leg down this time. Left leg stays to chest. Bringing it up, holding it tightly, giving yourself that tension and that stretch, keeping awareness in the leg that is straight. Leg is gonna come up to the ceiling. If you need it, you can take your strap, bring it around your leg, up to your calves. And we're gonna pull that leg in.
Another thing you can do for a little sensation, you can go toe to sky, or you can go flexed. We want to release that foot down, bring it back, knee to chest. Keep an awareness. And on your next inhale, we're going to send that leg over. And stretching out our arm in the opposite direction. Hi, sunlight. Thank you for greeting us. And when you're ready, find stillness and bring it back in. Bringing both legs together. We're going to release one down. We're going to bring our opposite foot, the ankle, across. Okay, across our left foot that is standing. We're going to bring our hands. One will go into our triangle that we've built, and then one will go on the outside of the leg. We're going to cross our fingers, locking in on behind that leg, keeping awareness in that 90 degree in our toes to our knees. That boop, boop, that ankle, that 90 degrees. And again, on the opposite foot, we're going to bring that leg in, stretching that sciatic nerve. Breathing into it, loving on it. And as you inhale and on those exhales, see if you can come a little closer. And as we release, yes. Release both downs. We're gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. Bringing that foot down so we are in that triangle seated position, or laying seated. And then we have our leg that will come across where our ankle is touching the thigh of our opposite leg, okay? The triangle that we have made in our legs, we're gonna send one hand through, opposite arm reaches behind, crossing our fingers and bringing that leg in. Keeping awareness in both feet, okay? Again, inhaling and exhaling. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. As you release, comes my favorite part. We're gonna release everything down, laying it out, okay? Arms are gonna go above our head for a second. And this time I want you to feel like someone's stretching you out, okay? Get a good stretch. We're gonna stretch, 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 stretch. And release. And one more time, stretch, 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 stretch. And release, bringing your arms down or beside you, however you want to lay for your Shavasana, okay? And this is your time. If you want to grab your blanket to lay it over top of you, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But we're gonna take a few breaths and moments here. We're just gonna lay out in Shavasana. And we're gonna lay here for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
So as you're coming back into the room, take some moments, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, find awareness back in your body. And when you're ready, I want you to shift to your side, just laying on your side. And taking a moment to again, bringing yourself back into the room. And when you're ready, the arm that is in front of you, I want you to press down, bringing your body up, finding your balance, and coming back to a seated position. We did it. So as we're here, I want you to bring your hands to chest. Taking a few moments to remember your intention and why you even came to the mat today. Mine was love and grace. So, in this moment, I want you to remember your intention and take a moment to thank yourself for being in this moment, creating an intention for yourself and following it through. And as we are finishing up, I want you to put your hands to chest, and what I do is I pray that your heart, that you follow your heart in the things that you desire, that there is no limitation. Moving your hands to your mouth, that we create words of affirmations, that we speak life into ourselves and life into others, into our mind, that we think the thoughts of good things, that we protect our peace by protecting our mind for the things that we bring into it and the things that we let sit. Remembering that we want them all to be in line, hands to chest. I thank you for joining me, as nervous as I was. And namaste. Thank you.